Hello, I'm Suprasaneshwari. I'm from Brazil, and I met Guruji in 2013. The last time that he went to Brazil, it was in 2016, and he gave a darshan. It was a big event, and the last one that we have there. When we finished everything, we organized and everything, there is a point. Every time that I see Guruji, after I met him, I need to move house, change city, and this kind of things. And this time I was changed to another city. And we organized everything, and then I moved. And when I arrived this new city, this little city, I had a stroke. We didn't know yet. I just felt a big pain, and I felt this during 5 days. Without knowing what it was, because any doctor could say. They just said, oh, that's something, headache, take care, and I'm at home. Then when I felt that it's impossible to survive with that pain, I came to a big city to see what it was. And the doctor said to me that I had a stroke. And I was like, okay. And then I went to the intensive care. And in that moment, it was many things at the same time to think. I couldn't think too much. But I asked them to bring my japamala to the intensive care. There's something that I need to hold on, And I was there like one day, and arrived a message. Aradakananda, he's my brother, and he told Guruji that I had this. And Guruji said, oh, don't worry, I saw this in the darshan. She will be fine. And when this message arrived me, I was, okay, there is something that I need to pass through, and I don't need to worry about, And I was there 15 days, like doing japa and thinking about all my life, reorganizing everything inside of me, because it's like it's a rebirth. Any doctor could explain why I didn't have any side effects, because it was an part from my brain really important, and probably I couldn't breathe anymore or move a lot of parts from my body. But I didn't have anything. I was like there, always awake and doing my japamala during 15 days. And when I came back from this, I could see everything, like when I get out from this, I come back to the world and say, okay, everything is different. I need to reorganize everything. And I began to live more for Bhakti Marga. I don't know why, but it's all that I want. I felt that I need to be more near to God, It's like He was calling me. And 1 year later, I met Guruji, and he took me in a moment and put his finger in my face and said, did you understand that you can die like this? And I go, okay, I remember. Yeah, I know this. And he said, now you will live just for God. Did you understand? Okay, Guruji, I understand. And everything began to change too fast. And this history brings me to the point that in that moment I couldn't understand perfect, because I said, no, I need to become a brahmachari and I need to live just for God. And that's true, I am brahmachari now, but it's more, it's bigger than this. I have children and I need to see God in everything in my life. And I couldn't do this before. And after this stroke, everything was like, thanks God, I'm here. I can work yet, I can do my everything yet. It's like a rebirth in remembering God in everywhere. After I got out from the hospital, I was thinking that I want to live for my spiritual path and be more connected with Guruji. And I saw that I don't have too much time. Maybe in any moment I just can go and pass away and I didn't do what I believe that it's important for me, because I just do, okay, at night in the moment that I have, or I don't prioritize this before. And then I perceived that I need to put some priority on this, on my spiritual path. So I'm always thinking about becoming brahmachari. But I want to felt before if I really could do this. I didn't want to ask for this before thinking about, because it's a responsibility. Yeah. So 1 year passed and I met Guruji, and Guruji said to me, you need to live just for God. So it's like, okay, it matched with what I was thinking about. So it's more strong, my feeling, my desire. 1 year later, on 2017, I came to Just Love Festival. And I met Guruji in the light hall. He ended satsang. And then I went to him and said, Guruji, maybe if you want, I remember that I said, I was so afraid to ask. And I said, if your desire is the same as mine, if you want, I can take this vote, it will be fine for me. And he laughed and looked at me and said, you? I said, yes, me. And he put his hand on my head and said, okay, I'll think about it. I will answer you later. Okay. And then I got out. When I got out from the door, from this light hall, my mind was like, do you know when you put the TV without channel, like just the sound and that's great thing? My mind was like this. I couldn't think anymore. I couldn't understand anything. And I just walk, and I want to sit in some place to breathe a fresh air, because my mind was... I remember that I want to get out, and I just hit on the door, and this glass door, it's so strong noise. Everybody look at me like... Because I couldn't perceive that was a door there. It's so... I don't know how to describe it. And then I got out and I sat in front from Shiva, like hours. I don't know how many hours I was there. Just doing my japamala and trying to keep calm myself, because something different was happening inside of me. The next day, my period came, and I said, okay, that's a sign. We can't be initiated with this. So Guruji answered me, I can't. In my mind, it's all the days like this. Why did you can't? No, that's because of you didn't deserve. Or no, that's because Guruji didn't want you didn't born for this. It's always judging myself and thinking in whys, and I couldn't stop my mind. 1 minute. It was crazy. And then when I remember, oh, it's everything in his hands, I breathe and my mind stops. And then I forget this. And then it becomes again. It was difficult, some difficult days. And then a devotee arrived at me like 3 or 4 days later and said, Guruji said that he will know. A brahmachari will initiate you tomorrow morning. And like, oh, okay, yeah, fine. And then my period is just gone. Swamini said to me that it was a cleaning, a purification, yeah. Then he allowed me to take the vow. And it was like a hug mother. You know, when a mother hugs you and say, okay, everything is fine. And it was like this, my initiation. Was the Swamini in Dayamati from Japan. It's so cute. After this, sure, I need to move again. Other theses, because Guruji began to ask me to be near the temples in Brazil. So I was more involved in everything, in pujas, and it becomes to be the most part from my life, day by day by day. It's just growing inside of me and my children. Accept, and it was so natural. they just was with me. It was like how it need to be, you know. I'm a single mother, so that's why I never had time to do anything. So crazy. It's changed more inside than how can I say, outside, because I was choosing to be more in my spiritual path. But inside, I didn't respect this need that I have, you know. It's like, you can't, you are a mother, you can't. We don't have time to ourselves if we don't organize everything inside, because we need to feed the children, we need to work, we need to do our even for the spiritual path. It's like we can't choose anything. And when I had the stroke, it showed me that you can choose. You are alive, it's your life, you can choose. And your children or everything around you need to respect your choice. You need to take this, you know, hold on and say, I will do this. And this changed in me, inside of me. And after take the vote, it was more strong. Like, this is my spiritual path. Nobody will take it. So it's changed more inside than outside. And then once someone appears and, like, I don't know how to say it in English. It was a guy, but I just run away from this. No, I need to keep my focus. It's not what I want. If I think in the future, it's so clear that it doesn't exist in my future. I know what I want. But he was keeping around and around, and I was so tired. And then there was a moment that I wrote to Guruji and asked, please help me, take it off. Or do something to help me, because I don't want to get engaged with this, and I don't want to think about this I want to have my space, you know, but for somehow it is moving something inside of me, you know. And I wrote Guruji. In that moment, when I sent the message, I felt this, you don't do this, but I did. And this 1% from doubt, it's something that I couldn't have, because these doubts take us away from our path, you know. And I knew inside of me that it's nothing, something real. I could see that's something like just a test. I don't know how to explain it, but I can see this. I could see this in that moment. But I still but why it happened? Maybe, and my mind begins to imagine things. I wrote and asked Guruji why this has happened to me, because I didn't want to pass through this kind of situations anymore. And it was not easy, because all the things on our mind came back, because it's previous experiences, and then you need to leave everything inside again. And it was a difficult moment. I didn't have Sangha to support me and to talk, and it was. And then I wrote him, and he said, "Oh dear, I love you. I don't want you to suffer, so I will change your vote to Gihast." It was the worst thing. I didn't want to read this. It was not what I want to. In my mind, now I can perceive. I was expecting from him that he said, "No, please, you are with me, you know, hold on." But he did the opposite. Go. And And I said, oh. I just asked him because I was expecting that he will answer something that I imagined. But no, he took this 1% from doubt that I showed him and say, I will free you. And I said, how can I say this? How I did this? It was the moment that something just, it was the wrong thing. And then he took it out. He took my vote. It was so terrible for me. I suffered a lot. I didn't want this. But it was important for me because this time in between until now, I get angry with him inside of me. And Guruji, why? How can you do this with me? How can you throw me to the lions? And please. And then I keep calm again and say, okay, I need to accept, because if I want to serve him, I need to accept what he wants for me. If I'm attached from this vote, why? Why I'm attached? So I began to think about a lot of things that I didn't do before. And I could understand how I work inside, And later I went to a pilgrimage in Vrindavan. And every time that he saw me, he looked at me and said, oh, how is your boyfriend? And I don't have boyfriend, Guruji. I said, oh no, okay. And he kept going a lot of times, like, stop, Guruji, don't do this. Like, okay, I will remember you, what you did, all the time. I was like, oh, Guruji, please. And it make me always remember and think about and reorganize everything inside. And all the time that I have the opportunity to ask him to bring me back to my vote and give me this opportunity again, he said, not now, Giridhari, will see. Maybe in the future. I think I will initiate you in the future, but not now. 2 days ago, I was in the Yagna with Guruji. It was finish a course and a initiation from Atma Kriya teacher. And he asked us to meditate in some moments. And there was one of these moments that he was sitting in front of me, but he was looking from the other side. I was behind. And I began to talk to him inside. I look at him and close my eyes and began to talk to him, just in my mind. And Guruji, please give me back again on the detail. When I arrived as PN, now, this time, 1 week ago, I asked him again to initiate me, to accept me again. And he said again, not now, maybe Giridhari will accept you in the future. See, okay. And I was not angry with this answer anymore. I was just, okay, everything has the right time, yeah? And then during the Yagna, 2 days ago, I began to talk to him. And I said, oh, today is the future from last week. Maybe Giridhari can allow me now. What do you think, Guruji? Please. Thinking about it. And I was talking to him in my mind. And I talked too much. I went in this, and in some moment I felt a strong energy, and I opened my eyes. When I opened my eyes, he was like, he turned back and was looking at me like this. Like, you are talking too much, I need to pay attention from in the Yagna. And I was, okay, I will stop, don't worry. It was so strong this moment, because he showed me that he was hearing everything that I was thinking. We know this, but I don't know. We are humans. Sometimes he needs to remember us, because we know, but it's always strong when he shows us these kind of things for us. And then, when he gave me the certificate from the Atma Kriya teacher, he looked at me and said, "Oh, so you will be initiated tomorrow." And I, "Oh, yes, please." And then it happens 2 days ago. And I'm back home. I'm here again. Yeah. It's like a dream.